Welcome into the Birmingham Southern Football Review. I'm Landrum Roberts. On this week's show, we'll recap the Panthers' trip down to Lakeland, Florida to take on Southeastern University. We'll have our weekly sit-down with head coach Eddie Garfinkel, player interviews, game highlights, and later on, our top 5 Panther plays of the game. All that and more coming your way next, right here on the Birmingham Southern Football Review.
This is the BSC Football Review with head coach Eddie Garfinkel, an inside look at Birmingham Southern football. The Birmingham Southern Football Review is being brought to you by Pepsi, always refreshing, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. If we don't take care of our customers, someone else will. Alabama Power, always on. America's first federal credit union, refreshingly unbanked life. The Greater Birmingham Convention and Visitors Bureau. Dreamland Barbecue, ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. Piggly Wiggly, we'll see you at the pig. Limbaugh Toyota, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Southeast Urgent Care in Fultondale, providing healthcare needs for BSC athletes. And by St. Vincent Sports Medicine, performance medicine at its best.
Welcome back to the Birmingham Southern Football Review, now being joined by head coach Eddie Garfinkel. Coach, you had a tough one this weekend down in Lakeland, Florida. You took on an NAIA opponent in Southeastern University. We saw it on film last week. A lot of speed, very talented tailback, and the film didn't lie.
Yeah, they were a really good football team. You know, we scheduled them first-year program, but, you know, they've done an unbelievable job. They're a true NAIA team, and got a lot of transfers in there, and you know, they're definitely not a typical first-year program. So we had our hands full, and you know, we got a chance. Our guys got a chance to play against some guys at another level.
Your defense came out, set the tone early, got some stops. You had to be encouraged there in the start of the first quarter.
Yeah, you know, we came out early, both sides of the ball, and did some good things. And then, you know, the thing that happened to us, you know, a lot on defense and also on offense is we, you know, made stupid mistakes. And if you make mistakes against teams like that you know, have got really good athletes and got good football players and as a good team, they'll exploit those things, and that's kind of what happened.
Well, with a 0-0 score late in the first quarter, you complete a pass, put the ball on the ground, the fumble, they turn it into points.
Right, you know, that's one thing that, again, in a game like that, things are going good, and we've got to respond defensively, keep out of the end zone, and we didn't, and just kind of it started snowballing after that.
Well, we talked about the running back last week that they have, very talented running back, Jarius Russell. You get stopped on the goal line offensively. First play, they get under center, just trying to get it out of their own end zone. He breaks one for 99 yards. Yeah,
you know, they were in a you know, a two-back set, and we get an 8-man front, typical, you know, where we have actually an extra guy for every gap, and we just, in that particular play, we didn't have real good gap integrity and missed a tackle. And then, you know, when you have people at the line of scrimmage like that, if that happens, then it goes a distance, and it happened a couple times to us, unfortunately.
Well, later on, same quarter, second quarter, he breaks a 60-yard touchdown run. Really felt like the big plays, that's what killed you on Saturday.
Yeah, it did. You know, it was the same play. We had to cover it, went over it on the bench, and we made actually the same mistakes, which is kind of discouraging. You know, there were 5 plays in the game on the defensive side. Long runs and passes for 280 yards. That's 56 yards a play, and we had a couple missed tackles, and but it had, 3 of them were touchdowns, and the 2 other plays led to a touchdown. So that's 28 points right there.
Well, you fall down 28-0 going into halftime. I was very pleased, though, and I know you were, with the way your team responded in the second half. You come out offensively, you sustain a drive, 11 plays, 77 yards, get it into the end zone to answer 28-7. So you had to be happy about the way your team responded coming out in the second half.
Real proud of our offensive guys. It was a tough situation. We knew that we had our hands full going down there, and it was hot. And our offensive guys did a really good job and got after the defense for 4 quarters. They just made some stupid mistakes that hurt us. Unfortunately, defensively, we weren't able to really maintain our composure, and we got frustrated, and so really never had a chance because our defensive guys just couldn't get it together, unfortunately, and that's my responsibility. Heck, I'm the head coach and the defense coordinator, so we've got to do a better job on defense.
Well, we talk about him every week, and deservedly so. You're a freshman from El Paso, Texas. Quarterback Mickey Courtney has another big game, solid game, 19 for 25, 230 yards. What I like to see was he spread the ball around to 7 different wide receivers on Saturday.
Yeah, Mickey keeps improving every game. Coach White and the offensive coaches are doing a really good job getting game plans that basically Mickey can execute, and they're calling plays to his strengths. And so we're doing a really good job of mixing it up, and he's very accurate in the passing game. So we're throwing high percentage passes, and he's completing them. So that's been effective for us the last couple of weeks.
Well, we mentioned Samir Usman. He carried the load for you on Saturday. Senior running back Joe Moultrie, you held him out of action. Can you give us an update on Joe Moultrie?
Yeah, Joe's just been beat up and banged up all year. I was talking to him. He didn't practice last week, and we were talking about holding him out. And I said, heck, hopefully you'll be 100% for Millsaps. And I told him, I said, heck, when you're 100%, you're really not 100% because, Joe's been beat up for 4 years. And so hopefully he'll be fresh for Millsaps, and hopefully that'll help us.
Well, you scored 21 second-half points, and one thing that you talked about going in last week, things you wanted to clean up, was a kicking game. I thought Hagan Mancuso and your kicking unit did a fine job on Saturday.
Hagan's improved. We've improved overall as a football team, and we're close, and that's kind of the frustrating thing, and just a few little things here that we've got to clean up, and part of it was the kicking game. Hagan's worked really hard, and I hopefully it'll continue to pay off, but he's improved, and our kicking game slowly is improving.
Well, the final score from Lakeland, Florida on Saturday, Southeastern defeats Birmingham Southern 42-21. When we come back, we'll take a look at how the Panthers travel when they're on the road as the Birmingham Southern Football Review continues right after this.
All right, come on in. You'll try the Pepsi Challenge with us today?
Yes. You just tell us which side you like better. Okay.
I like that one better.
You like that side better? The Pepsi side.
Who wants to try the Pepsi Challenge? Come on over. You like this side better?
That is a Pepsi. Pepsi.
And you're from Atlanta?
I'm from Atlanta.
You're going to go home and spread the word that...
You're going to go home and hide. Pepsi tasted better.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
And most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
This is big. Limbaugh Toyota's Big Time Savings Event. 17,888 buys Camry. Yes, Camry. Now 17,888. Automatic, no charge. Big time savings now at Limbaugh Toyota. Camry, only 17,888. Automatic, no charge. Don't wait. Savings this big won't last long at Limbaugh Toyota. Exit 120 off I-59 West.
We supply over 44,000 square miles of Alabama with electricity every day. We're there no matter what, because our state needs us. And more importantly, you need us. We're dedicated to keeping your power flowing even in the face of extreme weather or even more extreme federal mandates. Dedication. That's how we bring power to Alabama. Alabama Power. Always on.
Well, Birmingham Southern, what brought me to the school was the fact that it was well known for its academics. I take academics very seriously. That was my first step in picking a college. Which college had the academics that I look forward to? What was going to get me to the career that I wanted to be in? So that's why I came to Birmingham Southern. Playing football here is amazing because leaving high school, I didn't think I would be playing on a college football team, but here I am, and I'm getting on the field, and I'm getting a lot of play time, and it's just amazing, just a dream come true. Well, my coaches, I love my coaches, and mainly because, well, Coach G, I love my head coach because he preaches discipline, and I'm a martial artist, and I've always been taught discipline. That's been in my head forever. So I just appreciate that I have a coach who relates to something that I've been taught throughout my whole life. Coach Truelove, my position coach, we have a good relationship. I love him mostly because if I have something to do as far as academics goes, and I need to get out of meetings or something for at least 30 minutes, he'll give me that time so I can get my work done, because my work is more important than what I'm doing out here on the field. My relationship with my teammates, it's good. We're like a brotherhood here. Well, basically because we're such a small campus, you really don't have too many people to pick out of. I mean, a lot of the people here do play football, and so just with them being the first people that I met coming to campus because I went to camp, we built a strong relationship. I have plenty of friends on this football team, and I'm sure that'll carry out throughout the rest of my life.
Welcome back to the BSC Football Review. Landrum Roberts once again being joined by head coach Eddie Garfinkel. Coach, Orlando, Florida, the Lakeland, Florida area, that's a long way from Birmingham, Alabama. Talk about the detail, the amount of planning that it takes when your team goes on the road.
Yeah, that particular trip's we figured about a 10-hour bus ride, and a lot of that stuff is we plan way in advance in the off season, try to have as much detail as possible. It's interesting, when I was pulling up to campus at 5 o'clock Friday morning to get ready for us to leave at 6, there was a big 18-wheeler with Arkansas State football on it getting on the interstate. I didn't know who they were playing, but we certainly don't travel like those Division I schools with 18-wheelers. So it's we don't have a whole managing crew and all that type of thing. So it takes a lot to get that thing set up and where the trip will go smoothly.
How much cooperation do you need from high schools down in that area? You got to figure out logistically where you can practice, who's not using their practice field. Of course, Friday, that's a busy night for high school football. Talk about what goes into that.
Well, fortunately on this trip, we were able to use Southeastern's facility, and and pretty much we organize it where we stop at lunch and eat lunch real quick. On long trips, we kind of get it to go, and then we get down there and practice and get back to hotel, shower. Our budget does not allow us to stay in full service hotels, so Golden Corral is always a hot spot for us, the good buffet. And I remember when I was playing football, one of the most enjoyable parts of being a college athlete was taking road trips and be with your teammates and all that type of thing. So we're trying to make those trips as professional as we can and make it where those guys enjoy it.
All right, when we come back, we look at our Panther top 5 plays of the game, our best of the best, and our student athlete of the week. All of that comes your way next as the Birmingham Southern Football Review continues right after this.
Southeast Urgent Care, located in Fultondale, Alabama, is owned and operated by former BSC baseball player and alumnus Dr. Paul Roberts. Dr. Roberts is board certified in emergency medicine and has over 10 years' experience in the busiest emergency rooms in Alabama. Dr. Roberts and his staff are able to provide high-quality medical care in a state-of-the-art facility with digital x-ray and on-site lab testing. Southeast Urgent Care is able to provide the care you want at the time you need and with a friendly attitude that will make you feel like you're not just another patient.
With the new mobile deposit feature through the America's First banking app, depositing a check is easier than posting a latte pic. Just photograph the check, confirm the amount, and send. Best of all, mobile deposit is free at America's First Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to the Birmingham Southern Football Review. Landrum Roberts once again being joined by head coach Eddie Garfinkel, and it is time for our Panther Top 5 Plays of the Game. Our number 5 Panther play of the game was Samir Usman's first touchdown run.
Yeah, good call from Coach White. We got down there earlier and they kind of stuffed us, and then on the play before they stuffed us in the middle, and we called our buck sweep, and Samir was able to bounce it outside. A good execution all around for the first touchdown.
Our number 4 top Panther play of the game was Mickey Courtney's sprint out pass to Sam Vermillier on this 53-yard hookup.
One of the things that we've been doing offensively is sprinting out and giving a particular pass pattern out of different formations, and Mickey was able to hit Sam in the flat, and he was able to get down the sideline for a pretty good game.
Our number 3 top Panther play of the game was the defense with this 4th down stop.
Yeah, good job by our defense. They had called timeout right before that and had a certain personnel grouping where we anticipated them trying to run an ISO, which they scored on earlier on the 1-yard line, 4th and goal. And this time we did a good job of getting penetration and getting over the top and stopping the 4th down play.
Our number 2 top Panther play of the game was Mickey Courtney's 30-yard touchdown pass to halfback Jesse Hanlon.
Yeah, we've been sprinting out, and the whole defense was flowing and had a lot of success. And that was a sprint, pull up, and throw back. Jesse delayed, and he was wide open. And good job of execution with Mickey and Jesse. Jesse had a nice run to score.
Our number 1 Panther play of the game was Mickey Courtney's fade pass to Sam Vermillier.
Yeah, we had been hitting them with quick 3-step game, and we had the out route call, and they pressed us, and so it turned into the fade route. And that's what happens when people press. You've got to be able to make them pay, and we finally were able to execute the fade route with Mickey and Sam, so that was a big play for us.
And our best of the best Panther play of the game was Samir Usman's 15-yard touchdown run, capped off by his flip over the goal line.
One thing that our offense has been doing a good job, and we've had success here lately, is running our speed option. And we've been running out of different formations. This one was into the boundary, and Samir did a really good job of keeping his balance and scoring on that particular play.
And those are this week's top 5 Panther plays of the game. And Coach, it's time to honor this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. And it's a young man that's been in this program, and he's been very good for your team over these 4 seasons.
Yeah, Michael Cowan is turning into a really good football player for us, and not only that, he's one of our top students. He's got one of the highest GPAs on our football team. Takes a lot of pride in his schoolwork, and he's a model student athlete. And so, we're going to miss Michael, not only as a football player when he graduates after this season, but also just as a person.
John Carroll Catholic's own Michael Cowan, our Birmingham Southern Scholar Athlete of the Week.
The reason that I came to Birmingham Southern first was definitely to play football, but academics is such an important role that played a factor in my college decision. And Birmingham Southern always felt like home to me. Meeting the teachers, the advisors, the coaching staff up here, and even the recruits when I met, so now my teammates, they really played a big role in me coming to Birmingham Southern, and it's been one of the best decisions I've made of my entire life. Coach White's done a great job this year, and ever since he's been here, we're a big play team, explosive plays. We love putting up points and going fast, and Coach White's an awesome player coach, and he knows the X's and O's better than anybody I've ever met. We've had a decent year so far. We got to keep getting better week to week, and now especially since we're in the conference play. The quarterback situation's worked out, and our offense is starting to gel. And I think it's starting to get better. Week to week with Sam playing Samir and Jomo like always, and Mickey Courtney's playing well, and so it's about time where we'll be clicking on all cylinders in the next couple weeks. Road trips are the best. A 10-hour bus ride isn't what you look forward to in a weekend, but it's the time that you get to spend with your teammates and your coaches and riding on the bus. And we stopped in Tallahassee and ate, and then went on our way, and we got to practice at Southeastern, their field. And it's just times like that when you and your teammates get to bond, and it might seem silly over a 10-hour bus ride that you get to spend sitting next to one of them, but it's actually really fun. Going out to dinner, breakfast, hanging out in the hotel room. It's definitely a great experience, and that's why I love playing on the road. Just because hanging out with my teammates for 5-10 hours, and the bus rides, I always have a good time. We got to keep getting better every single day, and whether that's practicing on the field or off the field, in the meeting rooms, in the classroom, that's everything. We got to keep getting better every single day, and if we keep getting better every single day, we're taking one game at a time, one practice at a time, 1 week at a time, and by the end of the season, we should be in good shape. And these seniors have done a really good job with the leadership that we've shown, and staying on our guys, making everyone accountable for what they're doing every day, making sure that we're going to class, making sure we're coming to practice, getting here early, staying late, putting in the time that we need to. And the seniors have done a really good job, and we just got to keep that up. We got to keep getting better, and I think we got the guys to do it. I'm a biology major, and my plans after I graduate is to go to physical therapy school, and so I'm in that process right now, and so hopefully it all works out.
Back in 1958, Big Daddy John Bishop opened Dreamland Barbecue with his signature recipe for sauce and hickory fire grilled ribs. And that legendary taste and recipe have remained unchanged for over half a century. Dreamland now serves everything from ribs to pulled pork and chicken to sausage links, and still uses that famous sauce. Come in as customers and leave as family at Dreamland. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere.
Welcome back to the Birmingham Southern Football Review, our final segment on this week's show. Landrum Roberts once again joined by head coach Eddie Garfinkel. Coach, this week, get back into conference play. You had the big win over Swanee 2 weeks ago. You're trying to continue that in Southern Athletic Association play. You head on the road and face a Millsaps team that's 1-3 on the season. They had the week off last week. Plenty of time to get ready for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a challenge, and this year has been a challenge, and it doesn't get any easier. They did have an open date. Their star running back, Mike Bartholomew's been out, but I'm sure he's going to be back, and we couldn't tackle that guy last year. So, going over there and having to beat them in their backyard is going to be quite a challenge. So we'll have to be ready to play, and I think we've been ready to play just about every game. We just haven't been able to finish games and play consistently, but it's going to take a full 4 quarters of consistent football to beat Millsaps.
Well, this is really where the stretch run begins for you guys. Coming down in these last few games, it's really all conference games that you're going to be playing. Millsaps sits at 1-1 in the standings. You do too, so going over there, making a statement, getting on a roll with about 3 or 4 games to play, I know that's important to you, your team, and your coaching staff.
Well, at this point, we're just trying to find a way to win this next game, and that's kind of our focus. And it's been that way all season, the cliche one at a time, but, we've got to focus on Millsaps, and that's it. And we can't worry about conference or anything else, although it is a conference game. And if we do that, I think that, we got a good shot, and our guys I've improved, and we just got to play a good football game and against a good football team. And so it'll be, hopefully a good game this Saturday.
Well, luckily for us, the drive to Jackson, Mississippi, not going to be quite as far as the drive that we had this past weekend down to Lakeland, Florida.
Right, not a 10-hour, but it'll be a good trip, and we've kind of got it planned out as well. So hopefully we'll have success on the road.
Birmingham Southern takes on Millsaps this Saturday. Kickoff set for 1 o'clock, Jackson, Mississippi. You can catch all the action on bscsports.net. Well, for the coach, I'm Landrum Roberts. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Birmingham Southern Football Review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
The Birmingham Southern Football Review is being brought to you by Pepsi, always refreshing. Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. If we don't take care of our customers, someone else will. Alabama Power, always on. America's first federal credit union, refreshingly unbanked life. The Greater Birmingham Convention and Visitors Bureau. Dreamland Barbecue, ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. Piggly Wiggly, we'll see you at the Pig. Limbaugh Toyota, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Southeast Urgent Care in Fultondale, providing healthcare needs for BSC athletes. And by St. Vincent Sports Medicine, performance medicine at its best.